Welcome to our podcast, which we're proud to say has been named one of the very best in marketing research. This is Research Business Daily Report. Please go to RBDR's exclusive community at the crowdfunding platform patreon.com/RBDR, where you can lend your support. I'm Bob Lederer for more than 25 years, the respected voice in market research. Welcome to Market Research in the COVID-19 Era, episode 100, the closing video in this series. Now, we could make the argument that as this RBDR series closes, we've saved the best for last. Welcome FaderFocus Insights Generator, Strategist, and Moderator, voice of Qualitative Research, Susan Fader. She argues that contrary to popular belief, researchers who've responded to try to overcome COVID-19 drawbacks by shifting in-person qualitative work and moving it online, well, it's a far from straightforward process. Susan, please explain.
Thanks, Bob. And as you know, before COVID, most focus groups took place in person. And then almost overnight, everything moved online. And online focus groups have some great benefits. Obviously, it allowed us to keep doing focus groups, but also you could have a much more diverse population. You could have someone from California, New York, and Texas in the same group. And it also saved money and time. But we have to recognize that the dynamics of in-person and online groups are different, and the energy actually on online groups is lower. You have that tiny, we kind of see this here where you can have the Brady Bunch headshots, and you lose that critical part, which is body language, because body language is below the head. The body is the movement in, it's back. It's what people are doing with their arms. You can't really see. It's even how they're shifting, where if you're just seeing the headshots, you're not getting the cues. Also, in an in-person discussion, because you have that body language, you have more of a ping pong type of conversation, the back and forth. But online, where you only have the heads, people initially talk, but they talk over each other. So they kind of step back, and then you end up with a round robin, like the first person speaks, the second person speaks. So it's that type of thing where people are always waiting as opposed to participating, saps a lot of energy out of it. People, they're not in a group. They get distracted. They look out the window. They look down for a minute. They can kind of miss stuff. So what can you do to inject energy? Well, one thing is I have a standing desk, which is not up now, but if you have a standing desk and you as a moderator stand back and give them more so they can see more of your body, and you can lean in, lean out, you can inject some energy into the room, and you can have them focus, because instead of just this head, there is energy. I have something which I call an open mic, which is instead of me always leading, I give people permission who are in the group to say, hey, can I have the mic? And then they can have a conversation with someone else. You can also, if you are on one of these online platforms where they have to dial in for the video, but also the phone separately, make sure that they're wearing earbuds or earphones, so that their hands are free. I inject something which I call private chat. This is something that you can't do on a Zoom, but you can do it on these paid platforms. And just like in person, where you might ask people to quickly write down what they're thinking, in a private chat, people can kind of type to me so I can only see. So if I've asked a question, I can say, oh, three of you, John, Mary, and Sam, you all have the same idea. Help me understand what you're thinking. But Louis and Tom, you were thinking differently. So I've set up more of a conversation type thing. There's also online, there's this belief that you have to do the warm up slower. I believe actually that you got to do it quicker, because in the beginning, if you set the pace of what the energy is going to be, then there's more energy. So I have something called the 27-second introduction. So when people are introducing themselves, I say you have 27 seconds. They might take 31, they might take 37, but they're not taking 2 minutes. And it's kind of like a game. Can I answer all these questions real quickly? And the last thing I have is, might be something fun, like if you could have any superpower, what would it be? So it's interesting, it's fun, they listen to what other people say, and a lot of times they say, oh, John mentioned this, I hadn't thought about that, but his superpower would be great. I also believe with online, you should have show and tell. Who doesn't like show and tell, seeing things? So I did a study on organic cheeses, and we were talking about packaging. So I actually had the people for the conversation have the organic cheese with them. So during the conversation, they could hold it up, they could talk about it, and they could refer, if they liked something that we were showing them online, they could refer on their package. So again, interactive, but it also, these were all organic cheese lovers, and they were asking each other, oh, where'd you get that cheese? Oh, that's interesting. How's it taste? So you get these kind of side conversations. So I want to thank you for listening, and I have a lot more examples to share, so people can reach out to me if they want to hear more examples. And thanks, Bob.
Here's how to contact Susan, who I found to be one of the extraordinary qualitative research experts I have ever met during my quarter century in this industry. We also want to thank each and every contributor to this Research in the COVID Era series. From March 15th through today, we hope that RBDR has delivered quality, applicable information that has helped viewers like yourself to overcome some serious COVID-19 problems. That wraps up today's Research Business Daily Report. If you've made it a habit to watch RBDR, we want to thank you, and we assume that in doing so, you are finding that an RBDR video is time well spent. So never hesitate to recommend any of our videos to friends and peers. And we hope you will consider becoming an RBDR Patreon supporter, such as Matt Valley and William Leach, who are our two newest Patreon contributors. You can join the club at patreon.com/RBDR. So have a great research day, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new series of reports. And until then, stay safe.